Recording in progress.
Hello, hello. It's been a while. Sorry, about the radio silence for our field focus, but we're back in the driving seat, and we need to maintain these sessions. They are for you to go over some of the things that are important that you need to do as part of your author's journey, part of the author's adventure. And today I want to talk to you about something that's actually vital, and it's all about our new MAM approach. What does MAM mean? It's about a mindset. It's a marketing, sorry, it's a marketing attitude and mindset. Um, and what we've discovered, and this is at any business, not just being an author, but of course we talk about being an entrepreneur. If you don't learn to embrace marketing, you see marketing as a chore and not something that's creative and to embrace and enjoy the process. You see it as something that's a cost and not something that's an investment in the longer term and the bigger picture. And you don't really commit to making it part of your business strategy. Your business strategies should include a marketing strategy, a PR strategy, a brand strategy. So for me, one of the things that I've learned since becoming a publisher, and I would say I've totally embraced it in the last 2 years, is that whole idea of marketing, PR, and brand. And it's a marketing one that I want to look to today. Now, we're busy, busy people. And running a business is multifaceted. There's many things you've got to do. And in the beginning, until you start to expand and you start to find confidence and you face your fears, you do things yourself. You wear way too many hats. So when I look back to being a teacher, and particularly when I was a leader and I had to run departments, I had to run teams, I had to do like so many hats as a Senko. I learned the whole concept of adopting a one-page document. Everything I needed to know was on the overall, would be on the front page of whatever it was. So let's say I would have a yearly plan. So I would know January, February, March. Well, in education, we don't quite do it like that. You did it more in your 90 days, your terms. We worked in terms. So it'd be 6 weeks, 12 weeks, and then there'd be 4 of them in a year. So you would have that all mapped out on one page. Now, did it have detail? No, but did it allow you to focus on what we had to achieve in order to reach those outcomes? Of course it did. So it's the same for your marketing plan. Your marketing strategy should also be in one page, and we provide that for you, a 12-month one once you've published a book. And so it's the same for the one-page marketing campaign. So in your marketing strategy for the year, you have to identify between 4 and 6 campaigns, depending on your confidence and your ability to do multitask. Then we recommend that you do at least one campaign a quarter. So that's 4 in a year. And if you're a bit more confident and you've done this a while, then we would say to do 6, so bi-monthly. Now, to do a campaign monthly, you need a team. You could do monthly campaigns, but once you've got a team and you've got a marketing department to help you, but please don't try this as you're growing. But as you develop and get more people on board to support your work, then you could do monthly campaigns. But we suggest either 4 minimum, 6 is maximum at this stage. And so the best way to do that is your strategy overview. Highlight bi-monthly or quarterly what your campaign's going to be, and then write it out in the one-page document that I'm going to share in a minute. And you can get enough detail in it to kickstart you. You can create other documents to really give the detail. Like you could have a weekly document so you know exactly on what day you're doing what. But we're not worrying about that at the moment. And for me, I just need one-page plans because I've got 30 years experience. So therefore, it's easy for me. But if you're just starting out or it's something you've not done before, you need to go at your own pace and you build momentum and you get quicker. I wrote just a little aside. I wrote today about charging your worth. And talked about, I gave a little story about my other half, David. So he was an engineer. So he could go out and fix a printer, and sometimes it took him 10 minutes. But he would have an hourly rate. Let's say the hourly rate was £100, but he was only there for 10 minutes. And some of them would say, but you've only been here 10 minutes. And the answer to that is, but it's taken me 30 years to be able to do that in 10 minutes. Do you want me to send you an engineer that takes 2 hours or an hour, 1 or 2 hours to fix a problem I can fix in 10 minutes? And that's the whole thing. You are accumulating experience, expertise, training, all the money you've spent on your education. And that all culminates together. So it's the same with like these one-page documents. You just need enough that sparks you, that keeps you focused and allows you to do what you need to do. And also learning not to do everything yourself, but delegation is the key to success, and not getting overwhelmed and not feeling you're not good enough or imposter syndrome, all these things that we've all gone through. And you know what? It doesn't matter where you are on your journey. There's days I have imposter syndrome. I'm overwhelmed. I think I'm not good enough, and then I just look back and I think, right, okay, maybe I need an hour off, or I just need to go and take break the pattern, do a pattern interrupt in that thinking, come back and feel good, or look in your brag bag that we've all talked about that I've encouraged you to create. Anyway, let's get into the one-page document. So there's a bit of the background why one-pagers are great tools to use. So let me share with you. Now, these can be found on School. All of this is on School, and there's more training on School. But the reason we've put it back into the Field Focus is so you can ask questions about using them. Let me see if I can make this bigger. Yeah. Okay, here we go. So we've got a before the marketing plan, the during the marketing plan, and we have after the marketing plan. And you can see we're using the rule of 3. We've got 1, 2, 3, 3 parts to each of the stages. So if you're doing one every 3 months, you want to write this up, and before it you need to be doing the activity. So you've got a month of activity building up momentum. Then you do the campaign, whatever it is. So we're at the best time of year to be talking about this. Christmas is coming. Woohoo! Your books, stocking fillers, your programs, whatever you've got, merchandising, whatever you've got. This is a great time to create this one-page marketing plan. So October, so we write the plan now, start implementing it in October, run it through plan it in October, really get that research done that you need, plan what you're going to do, and actually do it in the month of November. It actually ekes in a wee bit into December, so you might even start this mid-October, so you can look at the dates and find out what you want to do. You might want to do a wee bit more if you've not done this before. And if you've not got your book yet, don't worry. you can still use it. You could have something that you can give away. You can be giving away a chapter of your book. You should be doing little videos. So there's lots to do that you can market your pre-sales. So all of that is possible. Now, the most important thing, and you know that because around the second, third coaching session, we need to look at your brand audience. Very important. So who's that target market? So this is one we've done, right? This is a sample that we've done. So we want authors, speakers, and entrepreneurs. Actually, we've changed that since we've done this. So that shows you I need to update my stuff. And this is what happens. You do need to update as you evolve and grow things, you tweak things. But anyway, you get the idea. Who's your target market? So if you're all about health and wellness, who are you targeting? And you can't target everybody. You've got to narrow it down. You know, the more niche you can be, the better. But equally, the caveat to that is don't niche too far down either, unless you know it's a massive market, because that doesn't work either. Too niche, not so good, unless you know it's a market that's replenishes. So you've got to really understand that. So who are they? So they're authors, speakers, entrepreneurs. They're passionate about your work, so that's you. They're on a mission to make a difference, and not only that, make an impact. So you write all these little lines down, because these are the lines that you can use in your marketing copy. And they want to be seen as the go-to expert in their field. And of course, they want to grow a business and they want bigger profits. They want to make more money. So as an entrepreneur, you want more clients and more money. And if you think, oh, there might be a few things in between, but the bottom line is you're doing what you're doing. You're not a charity. You want to make money. You want a better quality of life. You want to be able to go on holidays, etc., etc. You want to buy a better quality, maybe car. You want to have better clothes. The bigger your brand, you have to think about what you're wearing, all that. And of course, they're wanting to make a global, out to a global market, so that you can increase the market. So we've taken time to identify the market. So once you do this piece of work, this might take you a while to do, but once you've done that, is that going to change much from campaign to campaign? Not really. So we can keep that box in there, and you do what I've just said to you that we need to do. I need to tweak it. So instead of saying authors, speakers, and entrepreneurs, we're now saying thought leaders, action takers, and change makers. That can be in different fields. So can speakers and entrepreneurs. But this is a language that we've researched and decided to use. So you can tweak that target market. But you're not needing to do too much work in that. So what's your message to your target market? Well, it might depend on the campaign. So your message should be fundamentally the same with a tweak for the campaign, depending on what aspect of what you're doing. So it might be the message to the market could be about your book, but another time the message to the same market could be about your flagship program, or the message to the market could be about speaking. So the message to the market should fundamentally be the change, with the ability to just change little phrases here and there. And again, that's going back to being a teacher when you had to write 300 and odd reports, particularly in the secondary school. But you had to write all these reports. You needed to have your key phrases and just change bits for each individual student to show that they were personalised. So what have we got in the message to target market? With our expertise and knowledge, we believe your voice and your business matters, so we work together for extraordinary success. We take you beyond your book to grow your global business. So that's a great message for us to find new authors. So you can play about with that, and you should be able to play about with that through the mission and messaging work that we've already done. As I said, again, just tweak it depending on what the campaign is. And once you've got your message down, and remember, keep these and don't keep reinventing it. Here's a mistake that and it took me 3 years to learn this. Oh dear, when I think back, sometimes you think you're really good and you are good at a lot of things, but then there's these little lessons that are here, but you don't see them because you're too busy doing other things. And what is that? So I remember as a teacher, I was teaching, there was this topic I was teaching and I loved it. It was all about DNA. It was when DNA was a big thing. And the education department in Scotland, particularly in Glasgow, had created this DNA program for children based on uh, based on oh my goodness, can't get the word out, but based on research that they had done. Anyway, lo and behold, I would teach it 1 year and I would have to teach it the second year. And we had all this program with all the outcomes, everything all laid out, all the resources. And I would look at it and I would think to myself, I need to change that because I did that last year, so I need to do it differently. And I didn't think that I've got different kids coming in who've never heard of this this project, and who've never done it before. But I didn't need to change it. I didn't. But I might have tweaked it on things that I'd learned that worked, that didn't work. It could be done better if I did this activity, for example. So I didn't have to rewrite it per se. I just had to maybe make a few little adjustments. But no, I would spend hours researching and doing a whole lot more. And then then I had a conversation in one of my assessments, and my head teacher says, Brenda, why are you rewriting these plans? And then when the penny dropped, that was it. It was easy. So I want you to get that penny drop now. You don't need to write every single box differently every single time. You need to tweak depending on your campaign. So the media you want to reach, do you think that's going to change much? Not really. A tweak here, a tweak there. The more connections you make, you might be able to add something, or you might find something's not working, so I'm taking it out. So the media, we're looking at radio, TV, magazines, Connection Hub, LinkedIn, Facebook, So, once you've kind of got that, so radio, I could then maybe see UK health radio, for example. TV, I might say GB Today, for example. Or actually I'm associated with one now in America. So two in America now, actually. Magazines, so I could go Brilliance Today, I could go whatever, so I can be a wee bit more specific and maybe name at least one that I'm assured that I know I can get authors into, right? Connection Hub, that's a brilliant group on Facebook. And then of course you've got LinkedIn groups, LinkedIn. Anyway, so you have to put down who's your the who, the what's the message, and who are you targeting in order to get results. So during the campaign, again, what are we going to do? Well, how am I going to capture my target market? Am I going to do a webinar? Am I going to do a book structure and blueprint? Am I creating a subscription group on Facebook and put a price to it? How am I doing it? I think I really need to redo this. I'll redo it for next time. Because what we do is we have a weekly drive. Our lead capture and target market is the weekly drive. It is the book readiness quiz, and it's outreach on LinkedIn. So we've changed a little bit since we did this. But again, it doesn't matter what you're doing, but I'm being honest and telling you I need to change it. I didn't need to say that, did I? But anyway, honesty, run real, always. So don't have too many things how you're capturing that target market. You might add ads. So we actually need to add ads onto that, because that's one of the things that, to really scale my business, we need to do ads. And once you understand that you need to have a budget for ads, then your budget can start at £20 a month. You're not going to get very far, but at least it gets you, you need to see that as training, because you need to learn to do A and B. We are now connected with Shimmer AI, it helps with book marketing. They're quite new, they're learning. So again, it might work for one, might not work for another. You might need to do tweaks. There's all variables and everything. So how you capture in your market, try and have 3 really strong ways to capture it. So that's your funnel. How do you get them into the funnel? And once you get them into your funnel, how do you nurture them? So, well, we wrote this at the time when we did the, Awaken Your Voice and the Voice and Pen, which we haven't done this year because we're growing in other ways and it was a time constraint. So you might have a networking event. You might have a social media group when you nurture people. You get them into your social media group. But you have to go, we need that as well because we've got the Brilliance Tribe, the book Brilliance Tribe. You might do your newsletters and blogs. So that's quite an easy nurturing system. And at one point we were going to have a mastermind. That's still not come to fruition. So that's something further down the line. But you could have email marketing in there, for sure. I'm trying to think where we've changed. So we've got outreach, we've got email marketing, we've got the group, we've got that's a good one. So mainly social media we nurture, email marketing, and we get them into our group on social media. On Facebook, that's our Facebook one. And of course, we've got our blogs and our newsletter. So we've got about 4 or 5 at the moment. And then you need to know what is the money you're making, right? So networking events. So I used to have a networking event and I charged £20 to come to that. It was an in-person one in London in the IOD. It might be £5. Even your online groups, I've seen people charge. People are maybe more likely to come, even if it's a small charge. If you get 20 people at £5, you're going to get £100 for your hour of doing your online group. And then if you get a lot of people coming, you can up that price, But should we give things away for free? Well, yes, but equally, you have to weigh that up. It's a balance, isn't it? So some things can be free, but then you need to kind of make money, don't you? So you can think about that. So I was having the networking events was anything from £5 to £20. The social media group, they're free. Although some people do charge maybe a £5. Newsletters and blogs, they're free. And the mastermind, well, here's where I could nurture people at a bigger price ticket to get them into my author's adventure. So you can see you should have free, small, and then mid, and then high price ticket. That's the kind of concept, because it's all about upselling. We're not quite into upselling yet. So I'm not going to teach you. I can teach you the basis of upselling, but I can't teach you from experience. And I'm raw and real and about walking my talk. So that's why it's not part of what we do yet until I do that, which should be coming fairly soon for 2025. Then I'll teach it when I know it works. Okay, so once you run whatever it is, the campaign that you're running and how you're doing it, so you're using ads, you're on social media, you're doing all sorts of things, maybe creating video. Maybe you're running a 5-day challenge, whatever. But that's when it goes. What are you doing during this time? So the capture would be a 5-day challenge. So of course, when you do this for the first time, we can do it together. So that you get so you individually know what you're going to do. And even though you might think it, you really need to speak it through, because it's only in discussing it through that you fully understand. And then what do you do after it? Well, I was trained as a reflective practitioner, and everything I do, every activity, every day, every meeting, everything, I reflect what went well and what do I need to do better the next time. What have I learned, What went well? Why did it go well? What did I learn? And what will I do the next time? So when we have issues around just some of the communications, maybe around some of the activities, the implementation, expectations. We learn if we have one issue with any one client, we learn and we go, okay, why did that happen? What did we not do? Did we not manage the expectation of the client? Did we not communicate as efficiently as they want? And everybody wants it different and everybody has their own way of communicating. I am not a big email person. You know, it depends what the email is about. But when I just want something, you can see I'm a one pager. I want it quick. Do, you know? So I favour more like WhatsApping. So you will know that. Because I WhatsApp with many of you for quickness. Sometimes a quick question like, can you do a blog this month for the website? I right, get a whole email and do all that. But of course, now we're using the messaging system on Teamwork. So we could put it in there, but little things like that, you know. So there's a time and a place for each one. The more professional, I want email. If it's just something really quick and friendly, a little text message is enough. So how to deliver WC experience? Well, what is WC? World class, of course, you know. You could have a bit of fun with that, couldn't you? Down the toilet pan with that one, as they would say in Scotland. You know, I mean, I don't know if there's other parts of the UK that say that. We just put that down the toilet pan. So the most important thing is you follow up with what you've done and the people who've engaged with you over your campaign. Follow up, send them a thank you, publicly thank them, connect with them, get them to connect with you on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, whatever your platform of choice is. Invite them to your groups, invite people into your world. They've obviously taken a step into your world. Welcome them more into the world. It's like when people come to a party or an event, you're like, hey, nice to see you here. And then later on, you'll go up and go, how's it going? You enjoying yourself? Have you got a drink? Did you get something to eat? Oh, I want you to meet. You nurture them, you invite them in, make them feel welcome and valued. Ask people to be a guest blogger for you, something simple, something that's easy for them to do, that's going to give them a wider audience and reach on their thought leadership. So, and then, you know, you can invite them into, that's the Beyond Your Book Circle. So that's something I'm thinking for 2025. So how do you deliver that? At each stage, you should have a different way to nurture people. You don't want any more than 3. So you want a before, flagship, and beyond. That's what you want. I've got a follow-up is what you're going to do, and these are what we're going to do, the 3 things. How to increase. So a lot of it you can see I'm going with the rule of 3, and sometimes I end up putting a 4th one in. I could argue with myself about that, but hey ho, it happens. How to increase value? Well, why don't you decide maybe do a Q&A live and get people to come along? And, you know, you got to keep going. You show up, even if nobody else shows up, you show up. I show up. Give them a webinar for free. Say, especially if you get your group and they're all asking for something the same, just say, oh, look, I'm just going to give you a free webinar. Wow, value. But make sure you've got a call to action for them that leads to something else, you know? And then give them special offers, you know? Hey, buy my book. This month when you buy my book, I've got a free workbook you can get. Download my workbook for free instead of $9.99 or whatever. You know, I'm just giving you an idea. So always have something that you can have as a special offer for them. How do you orchestrate that? So you want website referrals, email referrals, your newsletter, word of mouth, customers, magazines, videos. Oh, the TE seems to have missing on that. I don't know if I can type that in there. Probably not. No, I can't. Oops. Shouldn't have done that. Anyway, yeah, double check. you're, I don't know what's happened to that. Obviously, something's happened over time. But anyway, yeah, I think if I did this, I think if I moved it along, oh, it's not working. Sorry, I can't work on PDFs. Anyway, I can when I don't have an audience, but not when I'm like on the spot, in the spotlight here. So how do you orchestrate it? Referrals, referrals, referrals. We have a referral system now. And just for use somebody you meet and they go, oh, I'm writing a book. You can go, oh, I know someone you should talk to if you're writing a book. Talk to Brenda at BBP. I'll introduce you. You send a quick email. Hi, Brenda, meet Margaret. She's writing a book. I thought you two could have an interesting chat. And for that, I give you £150. So there we go. So here, there's blanks of these that you can just keep pulling off and pulling off. I've given you this one to show you where we started with one of our clients. So that was one that we did, a previous one. So you need to know your target market. So by 11 to 15-year-olds, you know this is a children's author. What is the genre? Encouraged to read and readers, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube. So that's where they're finding them, what you're going to do and what's the genre. When you read a book, you can look through your mind's eye and create your own movie. You become the director. So that's a great way of encouraging, whether it's adults or children, to read. They can create their own movie because we can read the same book and get different things from the book. It's like watching a movie as well. You can come out, two of you watch the same movie, somebody likes it, somebody doesn't like it, you know, or somebody likes one bit of the movie and somebody likes a different part more, you know. The message is, why not be transported to another world where two dimensions collide and find the key to saving the world from imminent doom? Whoa. You know, so these are the messages. We had two here. You might go away and maybe come up with a third one. But we're running out of space. Could have made it weird, I suppose. How are you reaching? Doing little short videos, creating story memes, and short blogs. Shorts. Children don't need a lot, just a little thing, you know. Just to show you how simple that you can make it. So this is one that I started with one of our authors. So as you can see, let's go back down. As you can see, you've got a one-page marketing plan. Boom. I can skim and scan that. Takes me, what, 10 seconds if that. I can read it, and I know it's not going to take me any more than 20 to 30 seconds. So I can skim and scan it, less than 5 seconds. Read it, 20 seconds. And you just need the key bits. Then you go away and you start implementing it. And then that's when you find out what's working, what's not working. You review it, you reflect. What will I do? I did this week. Okay, next week, that worked. I'll do more of that. You know, so you're constantly reflecting what you're doing, making notes, you know. I probably could make another one of these where it's a blank and it's you know, and there's another one and it's notes. You know, so create your own, get proactive. That's what I say. So any questions on the one-page marketing plan? There's a whole book that goes with that. Let me show you. There's a whole book that goes with that. Alan Dibb, and then you can get his email marketing and all sorts of things. So somebody's written a whole book on that one concept. So I've just skated over it, you know, and in here he tells you all the reasons why and what you should do and, you know, how to craft your message. We've not gone through that there. So this is something that's reliable, it's been verified, it's something that works. You might want to create something similar for yourself, but what I'm saying, just keep everything to one page. Maybe you don't like the boxes, maybe you want it laid out in a different way, but keep it to 1 page, because then you're turning pages. Now you can have pages behind that with more detail, of course you can, but you just want the 1 page to go, what am I meant to be doing this week? And you can date it, you know, all these extra little things. So there we go. If you get any questions, pop them below this video. Let's have a dialogue. It would be great if you come along and ask me questions during the time, and start using it and seeing if it works for you or not, what else you might do. So get creative. What works for one person doesn't work for another, you know. So I know how I like to have things, and mine's is based on habit over 25 years. So you find what works for you. So for me, the 1 page marketing plan, well, it's for your campaigns. Is good. I have other documents for planning that I've used based on what I learned as a teacher, that takes you from 1 page to a quarter to monthly to weekly to daily. You know, you break everything down. But the more you put in and the more you can do ahead of time, even like, you know, the night before, write down 3 things that you need to do. What's your priority? Everything else just comes to muddle you and distract you and all of those kinds of things. So there we have it. 1 page marketing plan. Have a go. Need some help? Ask some questions. Come to these sessions. Going to have a Q&A once a week, and you can ask me anything on any topic. And I'll use all my experience to intuitively provide you with an answer. So until next time, as Brenda saying, be brilliant. Much love. To the bit.